Hello everybody! Today we are going to be talking about a topic that I think is important that isn't spoken about enough on this platform in the nomad community, and that is love.
Hey everyone, I'm Louie and this is my Pity William. We live full-time in my self-converted vintage Aerostar and are traveling the world, well, currently only the US. For the next few months, we will be living, working, and exploring in the southern United States, hoping to debunk stereotypes, learn some history, and eat some good southern food. Oh, and did I mention my mom and her pup are also along for the ride? Thanks for watching and subscribe to find out where we end up each week. And a special thank you to all my patrons and an extra thank you to my patrons who pledged in the better recognized tier and up. I have dated two nomads in the time that I have been a nomad myself. One of them lived in an old school Sprinter, while the other person lived in a hatchback. While those relationships didn't work out, I think there are some pros and cons to dating people while you are living on the road. Pros! You will meet many different people from many different places with lots of different perspectives, and that could be really good because maybe one day you will meet someone with a perspective that meshes with yours. You get to explore a lot of new places together from the beginning of your relationship, and in a sense it kind of allows you to test each other and see if you work well together in situations where you have to figure something out. If you're dating another nomad, you probably already have a very similar mindset. You're probably very open about a lot of things, so that can be really awesome because you can relate to each other really well. One of the things that I think is really cool about dating someone who also lives in a built-out vehicle is that in a sense you kind of have two apartments that are moving all the time. You can go over to the other person's apartment and it's in a different location than before, or they can come over to your apartment and it's in a different location there. So it's really cool to be able to, in a sense, have moving apartments. And another thing that I really think is cool about dating somebody on the road is you can spontaneously go on a vacation together. It's a lot easier when your lifestyle is on the move and you have everything with you already to say, hey, I think we should go on a trip to this campsite this weekend, or I really want to see this particular monument. You want to come with me? And it just creates a lot of really awesome memories. Cons. So I can only think of 4 major cons to dating another nomad. So if you have any cons that I didn't mention here, definitely leave them in the comments below. The first con is that us nomads are always on the road, so it can be really difficult sometimes when you don't agree on a certain location. It can end up leaving you missing a person, or you have to date the person long distance. Something I have found in my experience dating people who are also nomads is that you tend to get very close to the person very quickly, and that can be sort of an issue when you're trying to build a healthy relationship. I think it's really good to take things slower so that you can get to know a person before you really commit to being in a really intimate relationship. It's hard to find other nomads in general. Yes, you can find people on social media and through apps, but I have found it sort of difficult to find someone who has a similar travel plan as I do. Another con is that you will be around this person a lot, especially if you're traveling to the same locations, and that can make it really hard to set boundaries with each other. And of course, having boundaries about your space and boundaries about when you would like to take time to be on your own is very important and vital to having a healthy relationship. So yeah, these are the pros and cons that I could think of based off of my experience dating people who also are nomadic and live in vehicles. It's definitely going to be different for everybody, but if you are single yourself and you're a nomad and you're looking to date someone, you're single and ready to mingle, I hope that these pros and cons can help your relationship on the road be a little more successful. Dating apps! So now I want to talk about some ways that you can find people while you're on the road. I've currently only tried one of these apps for while I was on the road, and I have really just gotten started on it. I've only had one match so far, and that app is called Fairy Trail. It is a paid app and it has been kind of cool because they base all of your connections off of adventures that you would like to have, and they're not all people who live on the road, but in your profile you can say that's something that you want. So it's cool. Haven't found the love of my life on there yet. Something about that app that I find really strange is it doesn't give you the option to choose what is your gender preference. And this is going to be paraphrased, but they say that they base your gender preference matches off of what they think you might like. So that's a little weird and vague, and I don't really think I agree with that, but so far it's been okay, and I've had one match. There aren't a lot of people on this app. Another app that can be really good is the old school Tinder, because you can go on there, and it is paid, but you can go on there and pay to match with people before you get to certain locations. Before you get to a city, you can have all of your dates lined up, but that is not adventure specific. You can also use apps like Bumble. I think they do a location thing too. And then there's a lot of these like indie apps that I've found. Like, for example, there's this one called Meet Me Outside, which is for more like outdoorsy type people. There's this one called Nomads Soulmates, but I haven't been able to like even load their page at all. And then there's another one called Travel Meet Date. So if you want me to test some of these apps out and give you a review of them, leave a comment below and click the like button so that I can see if there's enough interest in it, and I will make a video about my dating escapade and give you a review of how it goes and what type of people I meet on there.
Now, something that I've been thinking a lot about lately as a nomadic person is whether or not I will find that special someone in my travels, and if that's even really important in the first place. Like, it's really interesting as I get older. I just feel like it's more and more necessary to find a partner to settle down with. But I think because being a nomadic person, you have to think really alternatively and think differently. I'm realizing as I get older that the relationships that really matter to me are the ones that have been around for majority of my life, and I think it's becoming more and more important to me to maintain those relationships rather than to search for new ones when I'm already happy. Yeah, love is nice, and I am definitely a romantic person. I think romantically about the places I go and the people I meet, and I'm kind of in love with love, but I think for a weirdo nomad like me, that's not the most important thing. And I hope even for you that if love isn't your priority, that you can find happiness and love in other places that can fulfill that need. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful in some way or another, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!